Welcome to Wanderlust and Wishes, the podcast where we explore the world one destination at a time.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Krystle.
As travel agents with Fantastical Vacations, we are here to share our passion for travel and help you turn your wanderlust into reality.
From hidden gems to bucket list adventures, join us as we dive into the sights, sounds, and stories of our favorite destinations.
So grab your passport, pack your bags, and let's embark on this journey together.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 61 of Wanderlust and Wishes. Today, we are going to finish our You Can Only Choose One series at Walt Disney World with Disney's Animal Kingdom. But first, we have a new review, which is so exciting.
Whoever AFF Traveler is, thank you. This review is titled Travel Variety. This is not your typical Disney podcast, and I love Disney, but they sprinkle in lots of other travel to keep me yearning to go other places. Keep up the great work.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you so much. We also have a little bit of news, not a ton. First of all, happy birthday to Disneyland. This past Thursday, July 17th, was the official 70th anniversary or 70th birthday of Disneyland, opening July 17th, 1955. And speaking of Disneyland, there are some deals or a promo that was just dropped for Disneyland Resort hotels. There are two different components to it. There's just a general guests can save up to 20% during Halloween time or the holidays. This offer is valid for standard and premium room types at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, Disneyland Hotel, and the villas at Disneyland Hotel.
They keep excluding Pixar Place.
I'm wondering if it's because it's still really popular and it's continuing to be booked up. I don't know.
Probably, but I was just surprised because the Villas is on here. The Villas is just as new.
That's true. I think right now, if I were going to go and I wanted to book a Disneyland hotel, I would probably book Pixar Place. And this discount obviously would maybe steer me, towards another just potentially, but that would probably be my top pick just because I would love to experience that hotel. The booking is for now through December 16th, and then travel must be completed by December 20th, 2025. And kind of a second deal that's similar, it's Disney Visa card members can save up to 20% on the same hotels, including Grand Californian, Disneyland Hotel, and then the villas at Disneyland Hotel. Similarly, it is booking through December 16th, and then travel must be completed by December 20th.
Another piece of news, I think this came out a minute ago, but we've just failed to mention it. If you have a Disney Cruise Line sailing coming up, there is a extend the adventure offer for Disney Cruise Land and Sea vacations. If you're sailing out of Port Canaveral, you can save 35% on a pre or post cruise stay at Saratoga Springs or Disney's Old Key West Resort. This offer is valid for travel dates it started in March and is going through June of 2026. So just get with us and we can figure that out for you.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to jump in?
All right. For our episode today, we are back with another in a series that you all have loved and we've had so much fun making. Somehow we skipped over Animal Kingdom, or maybe just because of all the impending changes, we just didn't prioritize it. Yeah. But today it's finally getting some love. So if you're new here, welcome. The way that we do this is simple. We go land by land in each Disney park and choose one ride, one food, one snack, and one attraction, which usually means like a show or something else that you shouldn't miss in the area. So when we created this series, it was kind of with one goal in mind. There's a lot of noise out there. And so many people are telling you what to do, what to skip, what's overrated, what's a hidden gem. And when it comes down to it, and it's a hot day, you have tired kids, hangry husband, sudden Florida rain, you're not going to be scrolling a blog post for the best rain shelter. You need like real practical tips you can remember, or at least, this is the biggest thing, at least recognize when you see the sign. So even if you don't remember all the little details that we talk about, maybe you'll see a sign and something will click. Like, oh, they talked about that on that podcast, so it can't be terrible. So we want these episodes to be a helpful little tool in your Disney tool belt. And then I think it's also just been really fun to see where we agree and where we differ on all these. Like if we both suggest the same thing, it's really good. But We usually bring different perspectives to the table. Julie loves her sit-down meal. I prefer my quick service. Julie's in the teen parenting phase. I have littles. Julie grew up going to Walt Disney World. I grew up going to Disneyland. So between the two of us, you're getting like a very wide angle view on what to prioritize in each land. So
Absolutely. We can also link in the show notes to catch, if you want to catch earlier episodes in this series. Episode 2 was Epcot World Showcase. Episode 10 and 22 were Magic Kingdom Parts 1 and 2. Episode 31 was Hollywood Studios. And then we also did something similar for quick service restaurants. You can only pick one. And those are episodes 35 is Disneyland, episode 38, Hollywood Studios. Episode 44 is Magic Kingdom. Episode 48 is Animal Kingdom. So as you can tell, we still need to fill in with certain episodes to finalize our quick service and also to wrap up our you can only pick one overall. We still need to include Epcot.
the front of Epcot,
Yeah.
it's a battle. Do we include it with festivals? Do we do it with festival free?
Yeah.
But if you have any other suggestions for these type of episodes, we love doing them. Just let us know. We're always open to suggestions. In fact, I think our quick service episode started with a suggestion. So, all right. So we're going to start with the Oasis, which is the little land between where they scan your tickets before you get to Discovery Island, which is the Tree of Life. And I only put this section in because it's for Julie's Joffrey's. So I'm skipping all of the ride, the food, the snack, and going straight to the attraction, which is Divine. Be on the lookout for her. She's very easy to miss. She's very tall, just elegant, beautiful, Mother Nature type streetnosphere, but she's usually hiding in the trees.
Yeah. And she's on stilts and is all green, all leafy. So yeah, she can be like right there, and she moves really, really slowly on purpose. It can kind of freak you out because all of a sudden you'll see her and you didn't realize that she was there.
So for the week of Earth Day, she grows and sprouts a bunch of flowers. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Oh, that's
So
so
she's
fun.
just all very beautified. So if Julie would like to take over the Oasis now.
So I did add a couple of things in here for the ride. I said there was no ride, so I didn't pick that. And this is not really technically an Oasis, but I did throw in that Rainforest Cafe is in here. I will be honest, I've never been here, and I would not choose this restaurant if I had to pick something. If I had to wait and go somewhere else within Animal Kingdom, we have lots of other favorites. And also just because it's a chain. Yeah. And I tend to not want to go to a chain. But if I were going to go there and I had to pick something out of this location, I would probably pick a salad, a Cobb salad. And of course, my snack would be the shaken Jamaican from Joffrey's at the entrance. Yum. I can never have too many of those. I love them. And then also the attraction, I agree with Krystle. It would be Divine.
All right. So as you're going clockwise around the park, you can kind of sneak back to Pandora. My ride is Flight of Passage. There's just nothing else like it around. It's unmatched. I do think they need to update the graphics a little bit because depending on where you're sitting, it can get a little 3D fuzzy, but it's really neat. For food, I'm picking Satuli Canteen. They have all kind of like bowl situations. I would get the combination bowl with chimichurri beef and chili garlic shrimp. You'll notice that I love shrimp, and there are a lot of shrimp things on this episode today. Apologies.
Animal Kingdom has a lot of good food. They definitely have a lot of variety because of the different cultures that are available. So
Yes.
I think it's a kind of a hidden gem when it comes to food. I don't think people think of it for that, and it has a lot of good options.
As I was going through this, every time I look at all the menus, I'm reminded how many good options and unique things there are. So it's always so hard to narrow it down. So a lot of I might have picked two on some of these. For a snack, right outside Satuli Canteen, right outside the, what is it, Wind Traders? What's the gift shop for Pandora when you get off the ride? It's hard. You almost miss it. There's a little window called Pongu Pongu, and they have a lot of drinks. I'm going to try the Pongu Lumpia, which is like a pineapple cream cheese spring roll.
I wish that I could try that because it just sounds so good to me. I wish there was an option that I could have.
And then for my attraction in Pandora, this is offered all over the park, but I suggest finding it early and getting your booklet. But the Wilderness Explorers, so similar to like an Epcot scavenger hunt, but there's more learning involved. You can earn badges at different stops, and they usually like ask you questions or do something educational. I would not stress and worry about trying to do them all because there are 25 badges around the park. So we have our books. We'll take them back next time and work on more. But if you have like a hole in your touring or need a minute, it's a fun, easy thing to pull out for your kids.
I agree. And my 12-year-old loves doing this because she loves animals. She loves any kind of nature type activity. So she likes to go, even if she doesn't take her little, basically her kind of like her little passport booklet, she still likes to go and just learn about whatever it is that they're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked Flight of Passage as well, although I tend to skip this one depending on how I'm feeling because I can get a little queasy, even though I love the ride. So don't get me wrong. I love the ride. I love the feeling of it. My body just doesn't always it's just not always feeling it that day. And if I'm not feeling right, I usually will just skip it because if I get sick, it'll just put me out for the whole day. I also picked Satuli Canteen, even though Satuli Canteen and Pangu Pangu are the only places to eat in Pandora. So it's kind of that part of it's kind of limited. But I would also get the bowl, the chili garlic shrimp bowl. And then for my snack, at Pangu Pangu, I would get the Night Blossom without the boba balls because I cannot stand boba. But the drink itself is so yummy. It's layers of apple and desert pear limeade, and then it's topped with the boba balls, which I will not eat because they're gross. And then I actually put for the attraction because I did not even think about the wilderness explorers, and I think that is I think that's genius. That's actually now that I'm looking at what I picked, because I would honestly never pick Navi River Journey. I think it's terrible, but I was like, if I only have one more thing to choose. Sorry for anyone that loves Navi River Journey. I just don't think it's worth the wait. It's usually some crazy wait, and it's just not that great. So yeah, so now I'm gonna retract my original choice, and I'm gonna throw in Wilderness Explorers too because I think that is a really good idea.
Listen, if you have babies or toddlers, Navi River is superior in Animal Kingdom because there's nothing else for them to do. So
And it's
it's
dark
okay.
and cool, to get out of the heat for sure. It's just really boring.
Yeah, no idea why the line is continually 90 minutes. Not worth 90 minutes. The first time I got off, I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, we've ridden it once, and I was like, we're not doing that again. That was not worth it.
All right, hopping back to Discovery Island. This is where the Tree of Life is. There's actually a lot going on right here on the island. Animal Kingdom is set up like a hub and spoke with the tree in the middle, and then there's lots of like all the countries and things are spokes off of it. So for a ride on Discovery Island, there's not like a traditional ride. Under the Tree of Life, there is a theater and they are changing it. It was once Bug's Life and is now going to be Zootopia. Better Zoogether.
That's so hard to say.
It's so hard to say. I'm curious if they're going to keep the 5D element or if there's going to be more screaming children.
I hope there's no spiders dropping from the ceiling.
I know, or like the pricklies in the back when you don't
Yeah.
expect it. So who knows? That'll be fun when they finally do that. For food, this is one of the ones I was having issues with. There's so many good options right here, but I picked Flame Tree Barbecue, the baked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork topped with crispy onions and coleslaw. They had a version of it at Epcot for a festival, and they took it away. It was in America, and I have craved it every time I go into Epcot. I'm like, I need to go get that, and I forget it's the wrong park. For a snack, I'm going to Isle of Java. They have a Tiger Tail chocolate twist or the Colossal Mickey cinnamon roll. Attraction, if you look out to be there at dark, they do the Tree of Life Awakenings. there's like a light projection show on the tree. There's always good streetnosphere around here. We usually see Kevin walking around. You can meet Mickey and Minnie in their safari outfits. There's always live music and dancing. And so there's just a lot going on right here.
And at Christmas time or at the holidays, they have these animals. What are they? The menagerie.
The Merry Menagerie.
Merry
Oh, they're
Menagerie
so
animals.
cute.
Yeah, they're super cute. And they're usually right there in front of where the tree is after you've come out of the Oasis section. And yeah, they're very fun. That's a good spot to see them. Like Krystle said, there's no current ride. And even once they replace A Bug's Life with the Better Together attraction or whatever it's going to be, that's opening in, they're saying winter 2025. So that should be somewhat soon. But I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to have. For food, the place where I like to get the street tacos, it's showing up as close. The Smiling
It
Crocodile is
better not be. I'm going to be so mad if they permanently close this.
I was looking at it when I was doing, prepping, and so it made me really sad. Hopefully it's temporary, but just in case, my next pick is going to be Nomad Lounge. I'm going to get the grilled chicken satay, which is a grilled skewered chicken thigh, curry marinade, cilantro, pickled green papaya, and peanut sauce. And this is gluten-free. My snack is going to be also at Nomad Lounge. It'll be the churros because they have gluten-free churros. And this is one of the only places that they have them. And no, they're not Disneyland churros, but it's still exciting to have churros. And for the attraction, I agree with Krystle. There's always stuff going on right there in front of the tree, but they also have the little areas where they have little stations where you can see the animals. And one of the ones we always stop at is the otters. They're so adorable, and we just always stop there to see them. And my husband will say for the rest of the day, he'll work in "you otter do whatever."
Oh, with the dad jokes.
Yes. Much to my children's embarrassment, it drives them bananas. And of course, that
just
gives
fuels
them
the
even
fire.
more, yes, it gives them even more fuel to keep doing it.
All right, on to Africa for my ride, the safari. Duh. Like, you have to go on the safari. For food, I'm going to the Harambe market. I told you I love shrimp. So we're going to go with either the shrimp rice bowl or the shrimp Caesar salad. They both look really good. Snack, Tamu refreshments for a Dole Whip. Sidebar, did you see that Disneyland unveiled a peach Dole Whip for the birthday?
No.
I was salivating.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that. I love peach ice cream, so maybe I would be okay with it.
If anybody's tried the peach Dole Whip at Disneyland, let me know. And then attraction. I had a really hard time with this one because how do you not pick the Festival of Lion King? It's like one of the best things at Animal Kingdom. But I also really love the animation experience at Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Yeah.
You have like an animator in there drawing and you can draw a picture with them. And then you might look out and see a vet procedure going on in the same building. It is possible to do all these things in Africa, but it's tight and it takes a lot of forward thinking and planning. So don't expect to do it all. But if you can, it makes for a lovely day to get it all done.
It does. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite areas. And for a ride, I wasn't sure. I was on the bubble whether to consider Rafiki's Planet Watch as a ride or an attraction because you do go on the train to go out there. So this one for me, I was trying to think. I love that. I love that whole area as well, but I'm also going to choose the Kilimanjaro Safari. The experience is never the same. The animals are always they're not predictable, and it's not like they have a script. So they do whatever they want, and they always put on a show. It does help for you to go early because in the afternoons, they tend to be asleep. It's just too hot, or they'll go inside, they'll go find a cooler spot, and you don't really see them. So if you want to see the animals, be out and about and more active, definitely go like first thing.
Fun fact, the lion, they used his roar for Mufasa in the new movie. Did you know that?
I didn't. We've definitely heard one of the lions or multiple lions roar while we've been on this safari, and I love to hear it. We've been stuck because a rhinoceros stood in front of our Jeep thingy and was not moving. He was like, I'm not sorry, man. That's not happening. And they can't do anything about it because they can't make them move. So until he was ready to move, we just kind of hung out and we watched him. For food, as we kind of talked about, or Krystle mentioned earlier, I love my sit down meals and I can't pass up character meals. I love them. So I'm going to choose Tusker House. It is a buffet and character meal.
Mickey, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy.
And then for snack, we always stop at Zuri's Sweet Treats. I usually get a Rice Krispie treat that's dipped in chocolate. It's one of my favorite things. And the girls always get a slushie, and I usually steal a little bit from them. They usually get the blue raspberry glacier, which is just like it sounds. It's a big blue slushie, and it's so good, especially when you're in Animal Kingdom. And for some reason, Animal Kingdom always feels 150 degrees with the humidity and all of the vegetation. For my attraction, I chose Festival of the Lion King. Lion King's, it's definitely my top 5, maybe my favorite of the Disney cartoons. And I get super emotional usually and sing and embarrass my children.
Moving on to Asia, my ride is Expedition Everest. This is a fun ride, and it's always fun to sit by someone who's never ridden before and get to the broken track and they freak out a little bit. This does have a quick single rider line. There is the Cali River Rapids right here if you want to get wet, but
No, thank you.
that's not usually me. For food, I'm going to Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafes. So this is the quick service window side of the restaurant. I could easily pick a half dozen items from this menu, and we'd probably end up each picking something different and sharing, which is what we usually do. A firecracker shrimp, Korean fried chicken sandwich, rib tips, sweet and sour tempura shrimp, teriyaki chicken salad, and then we'd for sure get the pork pasta stickers because my household is obsessed with pasta stickers. Snack, Mr. Kamal's fries. These have a cult following. You gotta try them. You'll understand. Make sure you get the dipping sauce. My attraction, the Maharaja Jungle Trek, especially right now with the baby tiger. And just a heads up, unless you like go and turn back, this loop is not small. So don't think this is like a 5-minute little wreck.
No, neither one of the like jungle treks or the trails there. They're not short. I also will pick Expedition Everest. I'm going to pick Yak and Yeti for my food, but I'm going to pick the sit down restaurant. We are obsessed with this place. We can honestly, like, if we pick, like, we're going picking one in each area, but like if I have to pick for the day, my family is going to almost always pick Yak and Yeti over everything else that's there. And I'm trying to get them to not pick there because, we're trying to branch out and do other things, but it's so hard because this place is the best. It's so good. And everybody in my family loves it, which is a hard thing to do. For my snack, I'm also going to get Mr. Kamal's fries. And like Krystle said, make sure that you get the sriracha mayo dipping sauce. For my attraction, I'm going to do Gorilla Falls. And I don't know. I just, my daughter Ella and I, for whatever reason, we just like this particular trail better. We like the Maharaja Jungle Trek as well, but we like the Gorilla Falls one better. It has birds along the way as well, and it has this little, I don't even know, it's a building, it's like a shack or something. I don't know but they have inside it, they have animals, but they have like snakes, and they also have these drawers of things where you can pick out, they're basically like replicas of skulls. I'm sure they're not actual skulls, but replicas of skulls, and that you can look at. And I don't know, it's just something we love stuff like that. So we're able to look at it and just be nature nerds.
Next, we're going to Dinoland USA. We'll talk more about this, but very sad right now. This is probably another reason we haven't done Animal Kingdom because it's going away. For the ride, you have Dinosaur. It's the only operational ride right now. My kids were a little freaked out. They've only been on it once, but it's closing soon. So who knows how much longer you have. They'd prefer the Boneyard as their ride. They love the Boneyard. Food, the Restaurantosaurus. I'd get the Angus Bacon Cheeseburger. For my snack, I'm going to Dino Bite Snacks. It currently has a strawberry shortcake ice cream sandwich on the menu, and I need that in my life. ASAP. They always have some pretty good ice cream sandwich combo that is really good. And then for my attraction, for some odd reason, Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond is considered Dino Land.
Really?
Yeah, so it's super cute and fun. Yeah, it does follow the storyline, but it has like some exclusive catchy songs. So I love the show, and if I can fit it into my schedule, I'm always gonna go sit down and watch it.
It has the Big Blue World song
Yes.
that's very it's very easy to get stuck in your head. And it plays on repeat.
Well, and now every time I think of Finding Nemo, I think of Cassie. So shout out to Cassie.
Yes. She loves that song. Okay, so for the ride, the only, like Krystle said, the only actual ride that's open is Dinosaur, but I refuse to pick it. I'm sorry, Cassie. Cassie's favorite ride is Dinosaur, by the way. So I feel does not agree with me on this one, but it is my least favorite ride. I do not like it. It makes me feel like I've been punched in the ribs. And the only time I ride it, or the only reason I ride it, is because my oldest daughter loves it, and she doesn't get on it. She's not a huge like roller coaster fan and some of the bigger rides, so I usually go on this with her. For food, I'm going to go to Restaurantosaurus while it is still open. I'm going to get the allergy-friendly chicken strips on the kids' menu. And then for a snack, I'm going to go to Trilo Bites and get the buffalo chicken chips. And I honestly did not realize that the Finding Nemo show was part of Dino Land. So that's really the only attraction left at this point for Dino Land. So we'll go there until the new stuff until we have new options.
So we have been around the park. So just as like a little recap, we're gonna kind of go around what has been announced and planned for Dinoland USA. This park needs a lot of love, and it's coming. So it's exciting.
So there are permits that have been filed that basically include the last remaining Dinoland sites. And if you have been to Disney World or to Animal Kingdom, you will know that there are walls up around the construction site. So it looks probably even sadder than it did before, or maybe it's better because all the parts that were completely empty, the walls are up around it at this point because they have construction there.
The big dinosaur's gone.
Yeah. The big dinosaur's gone.
Triceratops spin has been taken down.
Yes. And the Boneyard, RIP, as of September 1st, it is going to be going away and will be replaced by a new kids space, play space. So there is going to be a new space that's hopefully comparable. Disney is saying this is, it is going to make the Boneyard fans happy. So we'll see. That's yet to be seen.
The Wilderness Explorer kiosk near Dinobite Snacks. This location continues to operate for right now, but its inclusion in the construction filings indicates eventual removal, or I'm sure they'll just relocate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Or they'll like shut it down temporarily and then bring it back up. Also, Trilobite Snacks. It's located just outside of the Dinoland entrance. It's still open, as we just mentioned, for now, but it's included in the permits, so it's probably going to be gone soon. It has limited days.
And then, as we said, the former site of the Triceratops spin, this area has been fully cleared following the demolition of the ride and surrounding queue. There is currently no official closing date for Dinosaur. Disney has said 2026, and many are predicting January of 2026. So we don't quite know for sure.
They promised that they would keep it open through the end of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced that it would be definitely going away in 2026. So I think people are just assuming that when they say 2026, it means the beginning of 2026. For those of you that have kind of followed along with this, Disney released concept art of the Tropical Americas area at the D23 event in August of 2024. So it's been almost a year since they've announced everything. They also have given the area the name Pueblo Esperanza, which translates roughly to Hopetown. And they're going to have obviously new restaurants, newly themed restaurants. They're going to have several new rides. As soon as you walk in, you're going to see the Pueblo Esperanza fountain. And it looks like that's just going to be like a really pretty area. The concept art shows it surrounded by really pretty flowering trees. Obviously, it's concept art, so it may not be exactly that way, but I think Disney does a pretty good job of keeping to what they say they're going to do. They also are going to have an animal-themed carousel.
There's a concept picture. It looks like heaven,
Yeah, it
but
does.
he's almost like vintage Latin inspired.
They're also going to have Nigel, Squirt, and Sheldon from Finding Nemo, Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King, and Hey Hey from Moana. So they'll have different characters from Disney movies kind of mixed in there with the carousel. I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Something else that we know, the old boneyard is going away and they're going to put in a new Mayan playground. We don't suspect it is going to be in the same location, but we're hopeful that it stands up to what the boneyard is.
The dinosaur ride is going to be reimagined as Indiana Jones. So I don't think it's going to be exactly like the one in Disneyland, but I'm assuming it'll be similar because the ride vehicle is similar to the one in Disneyland.
I think I saw somewhere. I don't know if it's official or just rumor that it was going to be like a different movie, different time frame.
Yeah, because the other one was Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think.
We do know that there's going to be a new Encanto dark ride. The Encanto ride will be set in Antonio's room, which has transformed into a rainforest, and guests will explore alongside Antonio and other magical family members as he receives his gift of talking to animals, which I think is a good fit. Not sure if it's going to be a water ride or just a classic dark ride. There are at least 3 unidentified buildings that people are assuming are going to be meet and greets. I'm sure there'll be lots of shopping. So I think overall it's a welcome addition. It's going to be fun.
I don't really see anything that I'm not excited about. I think there are people that love dinosaur that are really sad that it's going away. And I'm okay with the food options that they have currently in Dinoland. I don't think it's anything out of this world. Like if they were to replace Yak and Yeti, I would be crushed. I would have to mourn the loss of that restaurant. But I don't think there's anything in Dinoland that I'm going to miss.
I am putting my official petition out that there needs to be a Brazilian type steakhouse.
Oh, yes. I completely agree with you. That's a fantastic idea. If they don't put that in there, they're definitely missing a huge opportunity because people will be all for that. That place will sell out almost immediately. It will be so hard to get reservations if they do something like that.
I think they've been smart in saying,
if you're listening to our podcast, you need to listen up.
I think it's smart on their part that they are being pretty broad about the tropical Americas because that could lend to so many different themes, different things that they could add, characters. So hopefully it's quick moving and it's not 2030 before we see it.
Agree. Well, we hope that you have enjoyed our podcast for this week. I know we took a little bit of a different turn at the very end just to talk about the changes that are coming to Dinoland or to the area where Dinoland is, just to give you some updates. We hope everyone has a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wanderlust and Wishes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye for now.